The little rat was still sound asleep when the commotion outside woke him up. He poked his head out of the mosquito net and perked up his ears to listen. What was going on that people weren't out in the fields today, but were instead gathering and chatting noisily? A sudden thought flashed through his naive mind. Could it be that someone in the village had caught something that wandered in? That wouldn't be strange, given that their village was nestled deep within a primeval forest. Sometimes wild boars came through, sometimes monitor lizards, crocodiles, pythons, or snakes. Thinking that way, he leapt out of bed in a flash. Without even washing his face, he ran straight toward the source of the commotion. But when he arrived, there was no sign of any wild animal, only his parents being helped along by others, their hair disheveled and their faces stricken. He stood there confused, not understanding what was happening to them. A neighborhood boy ran up and said to him, "Your older brother was eaten by something. I heard people say that only his head was found at the entrance of the village." He froze on the spot. His ears rang as if struck by 1,000 bolts of lightning all at once. Back at the scene where Den had lost his life, some villagers and Uncle Ba were still there trying to locate the rest of the body. There was much chatter. Some said it was a tiger attack. Others believed it was a crocodile that had come ashore and killed him. They followed the trail of blood deeper into the forest, but it abruptly disappeared. After searching until midday, they were exhausted. One villager suggested, "Maybe we should go rest and get something to eat, then come back to search more." Everyone's tired after all morning, and maybe it really was a crocodile that dragged him away. Uncle Ba turned to look at Mr. Nam, the village head. Mr. Nam thought for a while, then nodded and said, "Everyone go eat something to keep up your strength, then regroup here to continue the search. Ba, just eat at my place. It's closer than going all the way back to your house." And so everyone dispersed, and Uncle Ba went to Mr. Nam's house. While eating, Uncle Ba noticed that Mr. Nam was deep in thought and asked, "Do you think there's something strange about Den's death?" Mr. Nam put down his chopsticks, turned to look at Uncle Ba, and said, "It doesn't seem like he was killed by a tiger or eaten by wild animals. If that were the case, there should have been tracks left behind, or at least some scraps of flesh. But we spent the whole morning and didn't find any footprints or even bone fragments. Something's off. What do you think?" he asked Uncle Ba in return. Uncle Ba nodded and replied thoughtfully, "I think the same. Did you notice that weird smell around the spot where Den died? It was kind of fishy, but I don't even know how to describe it. It was just strange. Nothing like what we usually smell in the forest." The two of them sat there, lost in thought, forgetting about their meal. About an hour later, everyone regrouped and resumed the search. But oddly, despite searching the entire day, they found nothing more than a trail of blood leading into the abandoned garden. In the end, they had no choice but to return to Mrs. Dan's house. Since only the head was found, they had to carve a wooden body to bury along with it. Not long after Den's funeral, another villager died. This time, the person also ended up with only a severed head, and the body couldn't be found. People in the village grew anxious. Rumors and speculations spread. At night, no one dared step outside. Doors were locked tight. And yet, just a few days later, a third person died in exactly the same way. Only then did everyone gather to organize night patrols, assigning villagers to watch for whatever creature or spirit was attacking them. Strangely enough, ever since people started keeping watch at night, the village became quiet again. No more deaths. But just 2 days after the guards stopped their shifts, it all happened again, this time not to one, but to 2 people. The victims were a newlywed couple, killed in their own home. Their severed heads lay on the floor, blood splattered all over the walls. Again, no suspicious animal tracks could be found. At this point, the villagers were certain it was the work of evil spirits. Fear gripped everyone so badly that they didn't even dare leave their homes during the day. Families with fewer members grouped together in one house to protect themselves from the ghost or demon that was hunting people. But hiding in fear wasn't a solution. After several days cooped up indoors, a few brave young men decided they couldn't stand it anymore. They armed themselves with weapons, clubs, and dog's blood, both to search for the demon and to find food for their families. Among them was Lamb, a tough and fearless guy who once wrestled a wild boar weighing nearly 200 kilograms with his bare hands. He set out alone, a gleaming machete in one hand and a three-pronged spear for catching frogs in the other, creeping through the village. He wandered until well past midnight without seeing anything. Just as he was about to head back home, having walked only a few steps, he heard a rustling sound coming from the nearby trees.